with the race recap for the Man Cup presented by Vance & Hine, the 35th annual MTC Engineering Nationals that took place down here at South Georgia Motorsport Park in Adel, Georgia. And it was a treat. It was a good, solid race in all the classes. It was very nice attendance. We didn't have pretty much any issues with the weather to the last day. In the final hours, we had to deal with Mother Nature, but she blessed us. She let us live, get it on out the way. And we had some real good racing, man. So let me grab my pen. Drop my pen. Had to take some notes. There's so many people. I'm going to run this down to y'all today, man, because it was a lot of good races, and I want to be able to thank, because we did film the entire event. We streamed the entire event. I'd like to thank my people that work, on our side, Corey, Vernon, and all the other people, Rhonda, Brittany, all the folks behind me, all my folks at my company that makes it all possible for us to be able to go out here and do this. Like I said, we was at the Man Cups presented by Vance & Hine, 35th annual MTC Engineering Nationals. The midway was really nicely set up. We had a lot of new faces on the midway this weekend. That weekend, obviously we got the Man Cup set up, Outlaw Fashions, the apparel. He was there. We had MTC, obviously, Weeks Performance, Fast by Gas on the lane, B&M Racing, Baber Performance Machine, Hollywood Drag Racing.com, Willow Performance. We had Dusty Bazell with What a Graphic. Bringing on around, we had the Queen of the South with Megan Racing, the Megan Bowers Petway Racing Team. Trick Tools was on the midway, and like I said, and that pretty much, I think, Moreland Hookup. Yeah, we can't forget Moreland Hookup was on the midway, and I said Outlaw Apparel, that was also there. Like I said, pretty stout midway, good new faces on there. A lot of fans came out to support us. We like to thank the young children's group out of Tifton, the boys group that came out and brought the young men and to the racetrack. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get y'all a name because I want to call y'all out because y'all deserve a name. I had this all wrote down right here, so I'm gonna do y'all the right way. Here, I got it all right here, man. Y'all pardon me for being like unprepared a little bit, but they deserve their name to be said out right here, and I'm gonna make sure I get it right. Here we go. The Eagles Wing Judo Worship Center out of Tifton, Georgia. Brother Khan brought the brothers over here, got to meet us, got to meet all the other racers on the midway. Took a lot of photos. They were all the red shirt, t-shirts. They were a good-looking group of young men out there, and had some good mentors to hang out with them and show them, around to our culture. We appreciate y'all bringing them out there and letting them get an opportunity to meet us and get an opportunity to see what's going on in our culture. We appreciate that a lot. I'm sorry I'm working this camera. I was a little late. Had to go to work. Y'all know I had to still work. But at any rate, thank you guys for bringing the young men out there. And like I said, we're always available. And for all the little young women out there, young girls that came out to see Destiny and Megan and the other female racers, the ladies racers, we really appreciate y'all support. I'm sure they really appreciate y'all coming out there to support them, as well as anyone else to come out and support them as well. But here's the rundown. I want to thank the sponsors this weekend of these classes. If it wasn't for you all, it wouldn't be what it is. So we want to thank you all up front. JE Pistons for putting on the Pro Modified class, where Jeff House took the money home with his runner-up Travis Davis, but Paul Gas took the pole with a 4:02.8. Gas couldn't get it done this weekend. His House cleaned it up, took that money home this weekend, and Travis Davis was trying to double up as he was the winner. He pretty much ran the table in that Pro Open class. Davis qualified number 1 in Pro Open with a 4:03.4 at a buck 82.55 miles per hour. And he was in the finals against that tough Billy Vos Racing, Tommy Sachs piloted Pro Open Suzuki there. So that was a good deal there. That class is getting a little steam, those turbo bikes, and and they're pretty much locked and loaded for Pro Open. And then there's a lot of guys who, have bikes and stuff that they're trying to dial in other classes, and they run the Pro Open class as well. So in the Hollywood Drag Racing Pro Ultra 460, we had number 1 qualifier Michael Willer out of Louisville, Kentucky, drop it perfect 4.600. Man, he was shooting for that perfect package money that Cooper Performance was putting up. But he was good on the ET, but we needed a trip zip on that light, and he got that perfect package money. But that boy Chad out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, was on a mission. When I seen him earlier that weekend, he usually be joking around and playing, but I could see it in his eyes that he was on a mission. He had something to prove. Told me he had not been in the winner's circle and how he used to dominate it and so forth and so forth. And I had that Hollywood. I said, you want to go over there and touch that Hollywood, man. But I think it might be your weekend, though, Chad. You look like you really focused, is what I told him. And he brought the win home in 460, and he doubled up. He doubled up in 460 and Top Gas. Runner-up in 460 was the equally tough queen of the South, Megan Bowers Petway of the Bowers Petway Racing team out of Nashville, Tennessee, riding that newly pink Suzuki Koning chassis motorcycle. And boy, she was on a mission that weekend. She had something happen in the finals against Otts. Otts pretty much had an easy victory there. They left together, but shortly after they left, it looks like Bowers picked up a little trouble on the motorcycle, and Otts cruised to an easy victory in the Hollywood Drag Racing Pro Ultra 460 class. And we get on down there, and like I said, Chad Ott, he was number 1 qualifying the Snitz Racing Top Gas class, and he also was the winner there. Boy, he was on a mission. He wanted that money bad, but boy, he had a good little run with Seth Buccieri out of Locahatchee, Florida. He broke out, boy, and if it wasn't for the breakout, it seemed like it would have been a pretty good race, but nevertheless, Ott takes it home in 2 classes this weekend. I'm going to be eating plenty of gumbo at the shrimp broil or whatever at the next one, because I know he's going to have some money to burn, and I'm going to be looking for it. Andrew, you make sure he spend some of that money on that shrimp now. Y'all know what it is. Okay, now we're going to move on down to the MTC Engineering Super Comp class. Eric dropped a little more cash this weekend for Super Comp racers. And man, look here. The number 1 qualifier, John Up the Grove from Keystone Heights, Florida, laid it down at 891 with a 7 to take the number 1 spot. But though, hold and behold, the old vet from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Mike Conopacki. If you ain't heard about Mike Conopacki in drag racing, you've been under some rocks, because he's an old, wily veteran out of Canada. He comes down to get some of that money. And boy, he took the win home in Super Comp. But old Gary Russell was right there on his tail, both of them rocking them Kawasaki's. Russell's out of Inglewood, Florida. He's an RV service and sales dealer guy. So if y'all know any issues down in that area, y'all also can look up Gary Russell. He's the runner-up in the MTC Engineering Super Cup class this weekend. And we get on down to the Weisco Piston Street Fighter. And number 1 qualifier, Robert Moore, dropped a 950 with the 9.503. But boy, I'm telling you, when they come out of Puerto Rico, you already know it's that Pablo Gonzalez. PB is on a mission, takes the win on his Suzuki against Tom Lagasse out of Northport, Florida on his Suzuki. That boy Pablo Gonzalez is one tough hombre, I can tell you that. In the Liska Racing Street ET, winner Landon Noble out of Zachary, Louisiana, riding his Suzuki. Got the best of my cousin's wife over my cousin-in-law over here, Ariel Carter Cross out of Conyers, Georgia, riding her Suzuki. I call her baby mama now on the motorcycle, but at any rate, she came in on the runner-up. First race, I think even the first or maybe second race back, from maternity leave, and she already trying to make her way back to the to Liska Racing Street ET. Final, she did make it back, tried to get to the winner's circuit, fell up a little short, but I'm for sure she going to have something to offer them guys when she get back to the next one. In that MPS Pro ET, we had Mike Lukoski out of Fleming Island, Florida, run an 890 with a 2 to beat Mike Konopacki on his cow, who was negative 005. When I tried to interview him down there, he was down there telling Mike, man, I just took 5,000 out the box. And I bet you he put it right back in there because he was the one who won. Well, he didn't need it no more in Super Cup because that's pro tree. But on this, he took 5,000 out on the box, and he was negative 5,000 on the tree, ran at 888. But at any rate, when he left the bulb red, I'm for sure Mike Lukowski probably just ran it out the back door to see what he had for the next event or something like that. But that was that on that class. And then we had the D and G chassis V-twin, the double header on a Saturday and a Sunday. Stacy Smith doubled up both days. Won both days, won the money in both, won the V-twin money both days. Stacy Smith out of Lizella, Georgia on the 05 Sports on Saturday got the wins like against the runner-up Scott DeLong out of Citra, Florida, where I know his cow is Psyche. On Sunday, Stacy comes back and he and wins again with runner-up Eric Nettles out of Lutz, Florida on the 16 Aprilia. So it was plenty of racing, man. We had plenty of fun. A lot of people got to catch up with each other. We was, excited to see each other with the Man Cup family. Last time we were there, we were in Orlando. And for anyone who missed this event down here in South Georgia Motorsport Park, the Man Cup will be back. Next event will be July the 29th through the 31st at the Drag Race 42. If y'all never been there, it's a beautiful facility. Look it up. You can find more information at mancup.info on their website, or stay posted on their Facebook or whatever. And obviously, Hollywood Drag Racing, I'm going to be keeping y'all in the loop as well. Also, this weekend, we're going to have some bonus coverage from HollywoodDragRacing.com. This weekend is this Derby Spring event, the CC Power Sports Derby Spring event this weekend at Ohio Valley Raceway, West Point, Kentucky. Check out the flyer. For more details, you can find the flyer on my Facebook. You also can find it on Wheeler Racing, Michael Wheeler's Facebook page. I just looked on there myself to verify it. It's back there. I'm looking at it in the background. But check that out. It's going to be pretty exciting. And y'all know to check my event schedule at events.hollywooddragracing.com. You'll see exactly where I'll be headed next. I'm throwing a little derby action here because I want to fine-tune this camera, fine-tune this voice, fine-tune the microphone so that you all not only can see it, but you can hear it and you can get a full comprehension of what is going on at the racetrack. It's a work in progress. I think that we're doing pretty good with the quality of the video now. And in some events where there's good announcers and the sound comes through the devices in which we're actually recording, great. Sometimes the sound does not come through the devices in which we're recording. So we're going to try something a little different this weekend at the Derby and to see if we can improve on that. We recognize that the scoreboard was not being able to be seen. And as we had discussed on our side was the two most important things to me, who left and how fast they went. So look, we need to show the start line and make sure we show the finish line, those scoreboards. Just like you see it's Hollywood Drag Racing and there's Trick 2's banners behind me. You should be able to see the scoreboards just that clear, which we achieved that. We were set up, which we learned some more stuff. When tracks are technically a real eighth of mile track, it's a little easier to get the coverage down track. But when there's a quarter mile, we noticed that there was a gap that would be filled if when we win. We go back to that situation. Now that we know what to do about it. But overall, we really appreciate the support from the racers and the fans. We still need you all to go to the website and subscribe and also create an account. Do both. Excuse me. Because at some point, the subscription is only going to tell you, hey, we live. The account that you set up is going to say, hey, here's some additional content that since we know who you are in our house, yeah, you're welcome to come in. But it's the whole thing about signing up for us is just that we just want to know who's in there because, this is our private room. This is going to be where we keep some of our back behind the scene content. And we just don't want everybody going in there without, being invited or at least not knowing who they are. But at any rate, I enjoyed y'all. See y'all this weekend. We're going to let y'all know when we're going to get ready to go live. And when we go live, go back to tv.hollywooddragracing.com to catch the action this weekend at the Derby Spring Nationals, sponsored by the CC Power Sports, Willer Machine and Fabrication, and Willer Racing. Deshaun Willer. Any more information that you need about the event, you can contact Deshaun. Like I said, the event flyer has the contact information on it. Be tuned. I see y'all in Louisville.